Hey, welcome to the Gambling Gardeners. I'm Stan.
I'm Rana.
Wow, what an exciting time of year. We're starting to get stuff in the garden. We've already got some stuff in the ground. It's just springtime. You can feel it in the air, and it is getting exciting. But today, we got a special treat for you because we're going to be getting our potato seeds in the ground. We've got a few things we're going to go over today. We're going to show you around the garden. We're going to show you how we did it. And come along, guys, because the potatoes in the ground. I came out here a couple weeks ago and put a nice balanced fertilizer on the dirt just to let it sit for a couple weeks, let it do its thing, just kind of get the fertilizer worked into the soil a little bit. And then before we planted, I came out here and just turned it a little bit, and we went ahead and just got it nice and prepped. You know, you want to do that about 2 weeks before you put your potatoes in if you can. If not, you know, you can get them in and then put your fertilizer, your organic fertilizer on in the soil, work it in before you get your seeds in the ground. But
so as you're prepping your potatoes, you want to make sure that you slice off the part that's got the chit, and then you can do that ahead of time, like a few days before, because it'll have a nice scar on it. I call it a scar, but it's really, you slice it and then you kind of let it coat over. It gets like kind of a harder skin, and that'll help prevent things like
disease. You get disease and bacteria on the potatoes because it's not just a fresh cut going in the ground. But if you don't have time to do that and you're fresh cut your potatoes, you can sprinkle some like ash on it, powdered sulfur, lime. Yeah. There's certain things that you can sprinkle on it to just kind of cure the edge of it. That's what you're looking for, so it's just not open, because what happens is it'll get in there, especially if you have a damp soil, you know, there's a good chance that it could rot. So it's a good idea, like Rana said, if you can, 3 or 4 days before you put them in the ground, cut them up, let them sit on the counter.
And then when you are preparing the potatoes and you're cutting off the chits, or the part that has the chit on it, just make sure that they're kind of around the size of an egg. A little less is okay, but it seems to do better when they're a certain size, and that's like a little egg or a little bit bigger.
And you'll see, I've seen on YouTube where people will talk about, you should try to get them when the chit is small. You don't want a whole lot of growth on it, but you can still use them. And then as far as our seeds go, we purchase our seeds at our local store. You can get them anywhere. You can order them. Online, there's really good places where you can order your seeds ahead of time just so you have them, rather than go down to your local store if you don't want to. One other thing I would suggest is that people do say you can use your bag potatoes, if they start to chit, and you can use them. The only thing about those is they will grow, but they've kind of been processed. So there's, they've got pesticides and maybe some things on them that they use to help them grow or preserve them at the store. So you can use them and they will certainly grow. We've done that, haven't we?
Yeah, and it does work. Yeah. It's good in a pinch.
Yeah, and we put them in buckets. That's the other thing. If you can't find the seeds and you're interested in planting some potatoes, just let them chit and throw them in a bucket.
So the types of varieties of potatoes we're going to be growing in our garden this year are Russets, these ones called Butterball German, and the Garden State Bulb Reds. Garden State Bulb Reds and the Russets we got at Lowe's, so we'll leave the link below. And the German Butterball, which had rave reviews, we bought online through Park Seed. I'll leave that link as well.
That's the first year we're growing those, right?
That is the first year
we've grown the Reds and the Russets before, and so this year we're really looking to up our game. Like a lot of the things that we're talking to you guys about, we didn't cut the potatoes ahead of time.
Last year,
we didn't put the fertilizer down ahead of time. So these are all things that we've learned really, really well. And we're going to try this new thing this year. I got to give a shout out to the Epic Gardener. I was watching his show, I believe it was yesterday, the day before, and he had a potato farmer on there, and I apologize, I can't remember who it was. And the more you watch the videos of us, you're going to remember that I remember nobody's name. So, but he gave some really good advice, and we're going to try something this year that I've never heard of. They did kind of an experiment, the Epic Gardener, and who's the guy that's on there with them all the time? Jacques was on there with them, and they did an experiment of 7 different ways that they planted their potatoes, and this is one that we're going to try, so we'll see. But we've learned from our lessons, and so we hope the information we're giving to you today will definitely help you. And it's not too late. We're March 8th?
It's early March here. We're in zone 8A, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yep.
And this is a prime time to start getting your potatoes in the ground.
Yeah, and we're right on that borderline where you call them potatoes or taters.
Yeah.
So let us show you how we did ours today. So what we've done here, I know some people are going to say we got these planted a little too close, and there's probably some truth to that, but we had limited space in this raised bed. So what we've done is we've put these about 10 inches apart. They recommend about 12 inches, but what we've done is we've put them 10 inches apart, east to west, and then north to south, we did do the 12 inches. So we got 4 rows in here. I didn't count how many we put in here, but so what we've done is we've laid it out, and then we have this nice little auger that I bought last year that I forgot that I had, and it worked out great. So what we've done is we've augered our holes deep enough for the potatoes to get in there. We want to plant these about 6 inches, is that right?
That's it. That's right.
Yeah, 6 inches, 12 inches apart. You can see, and we got our water lines. I think I'm probably going to add another water line. Again, one thing with potatoes, they need water. So you got to make sure that hopefully you can get an irrigation system in, kind of like what we have here, and get them watered. And you want to keep them fertilized. So we got these planted, right? So what we're going to do in about 6 weeks, we'll come out here, and what we'll do is we'll hill them. We'll start hilling them. So when they're about 6 inches tall, we'll hill up the dirt, and where there's only about two leaves sticking out the top, and then we're going to hit them with fertilizer again, and that is the last time we're going to fertilize them. We will hill them one more time, but that's pretty much going to be it for the fertilizer, and we'll go from there and see what happens. But again, so the one thing that we are going to do that I was talking about, right, is with this potato farmer, with Epic Gardeners, what they did is they took, and the results were real, they took your typical frost cloth, and they just put it right over top of it, and they just stapled it down or weighted it down so the stuff would just grow, and they never took it off. They just let it grow. And this guy is a commercial potato farmer, and this is what they do on theirs. And
what's the reasoning behind that?
I wish I knew. Go to the Epic Gardener and find out, because I can't remember what it was. All I know is that the growth of what it was just
phenomenal.
It was phenomenal. When they compared, I don't know, it was what went by, 4 or 5 months went by, and they showed the difference in the growth and how much yield they got out of it. It was amazing. They were pulling red potatoes out of there that typically are the size, red potatoes are typically smaller. They were the size of a Yukon baked potato that they were pulling out of there.
Wow.
So the evidence was real. So we're going to give that a go this year and see how it works. So
one thing you want to do when you are planting your potatoes is make sure that the chit is side up.
Yes.
And that is because the plant grows from that chit space right there. Yeah. So just make sure that is facing side up before you cover them with dirt.
So what we've done, we ran out of space in our raised boxes, so we were like, okay, we don't want to waste all these seeds we got. So what we did is we came over here, and it's going to be interesting. This is a good point here. Is we didn't get these fertilized ahead of time. This is the first time anything's going in this garden this year. I mean, we do have a few things over here that we got in. What do we got here? We've got onions, broccoli, some cabbage that's already in the ground, our cold weather stuff. Some leeks. But we got our potatoes in here, and we did the same thing. These we did get close to 2 foot apart. And then we did them 12 inches east to west, or north to south. So Brian's making sure we did it right. He says it looks pretty good. He's
what do you think, Brian?
He's checking them all out. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to sprinkle some fertilizer after we cover these up, because we don't want to put the fertilizer directly on the fruit. So we'll cover them up, and then we'll put some all-purpose fertilizer on. And we really try to use organic fertilizer. We use the what is the brand we use? The Garden Organic.
The Tone.
Yeah, Garden Organic. That's what we're using.
They have a bunch of different kinds of
different things,
but you'll see them in your local stores. Like it'll say Garden Tone, Berry Tone, that kind.
And we typically use just the general. It's the all-purpose one that we typically use.
So our experiments this year are going to be seeing how these potatoes grow in the ground without having that fertilizer 2-week waiting period. We're fertilizing on top after we cover them with dirt. However, these potatoes are further apart than the ones out in the garden bed. So we're just going to kind of experiment, see how that works out for us, and see what our yields are going to be. 3 different varieties of potatoes. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and just real quick on the garden bed, the difference between the raised beds and the garden bed is there's a lot more soil that the potatoes will go through that's a little bit softer. This garden here is kind of rocky. I mean, we've tilled it up over the years and we got it pretty good, but that would be the only thing that I think we would see where there might be a lighter yield, I guess, just because of the type of dirt it's in. It doesn't have that room to grow. But
And my anticipation is that these potatoes will be ready to harvest first, maybe even a whole month before the Russets and the German Butterballs, because it seemed like last year our red potatoes were popping out of the ground, and they were doing that a good 30 days before our Russets were ready. So, and if you notice, thinner skinned potatoes, they seem to harvest a little sooner.
Yeah. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, it's so exciting this time of the year. We got some stuff. We got some cold weather coming up. We've been here in Raleigh, believe it or not, it's almost going to be 90 degrees on Wednesday. So that's not great for our cold weather stuff. We'll just make sure we keep a lot of water on them. And we'll update you on this potatoes. We'll have maybe a short video we'll put out on how we're covering these with the frost cloth and see how it goes from there. We got to get them all watered in before we put the frost cloth on them and see how they do. But we're excited about that. Wow, it's been great showing you guys around our garden today. You got anything else to say?
Remember, come grow with us.